We're in the middle of Spring Valley in Las Vegas, Nevada, where a lot of Asian stores, restaurants, and supermarkets reside. Big Asian population. So this little plaza seems to be a Chinese, predominantly Chinese place. You got a 168 supermarket right there. 168 is a propitious Chinese number. I guess that means some kind of good luck. Here's a Japanese burger place called Fuku Burger. I haven't tried it. I don't know what it tastes like, but it's probably good because Japanese burgers are pretty good. I don't know if you guys have ever tried Moss Burger in Japan. Their burgers are small and tidy and nice and tasty. They're famous for their rice burgers. They used to have a couple of locations here in LA and California, but they shut down. I believe they may still have some locations in Hawaii, maybe. I'm not sure why they shut down because actually their burgers are quite good. So here in Las Vegas, the largest Asian population here are actually Filipinos, followed by Chinese. But a lot of the Asians here that I've seen seem to be quite provincial, in my opinion. I believe a lot of them seem to come from the provincial areas of wherever they're from. I think a lot of the Filipinos who are here work in the casinos, work in hospitality, hotels, work in the nursing field. And a lot of them are retirees from Hawaii. A lot of the Chinese, I'm not sure where they're from, but they seem to be quite provincial. And I'm using that word very loosely. A lot of the Koreans here that I have seen also seem quite somewhat provincial. There are some shop owners here that are Korean that have never been to LA or California. They came here straight from Korea. The funny thing about the Asians here in Las Vegas is that they do seem less friendly. They are less friendly and hospitable than the Asians in LA, Orange County. They're a little more guarded, less approachable. The service in the restaurants are not as good as the ones in Orange County and Los Angeles. So overall, the population here, the Asian population, are not as friendly, not as cordial. Although the Caucasian, Black, and Hispanic population in Las Vegas, they're actually more friendly, nicer, more respectful than the population in California, their counterparts in California. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. So the Filipinos are the largest Asian population here, followed by Chinese, and then I'm not sure who's next. Koreans, there aren't that many Koreans here. But I think with the new opening of H Mart, the center of Korean business might shift over to that area from this current area, which is the center of Spring Valley. This is an older style Chinese supermarket, but then again, all the modern or the current existing Chinese supermarkets tend to look like this. Kind of an older look, like 1990s, 80s look. The most modern Chinese supermarket you can go to is 99 Ranch, and even they are kind of falling behind as far as updating their decor and staying clean and updating their system and their aisles and look and feel. The most modern Asian supermarket is going to be H Mart and many of the Korean supermarkets. For whatever reason, Korean supermarkets are sort of dominating the Asian supermarket scene, and it looks like a lot of the older Chinese and Vietnamese supermarkets tend to go out of business and kind of stayed in this format, kind of dilapidated, unkept, without the proper upgrades. There's a seafood section with live fish and seafood. There was another supermarket chain here in Vegas they got several locations, which is going to be the Seafood City, which is a Filipino run chain I think they're the only dominant Filipino presence here in Vegas or even in California. And again, although the Filipino population here in Vegas is the largest Asian population, the only thing they really have to show for it is maybe one or two Jollibees and Seafood City. And again, you would think there'd be more Filipino restaurants and fast food places or eateries catering to their palates, but there really isn't. There really isn't. The dominant Asian food restaurants here in Vegas is Thai. And I think Korean restaurants are coming up fast. But right now it's Thai restaurants. Lobster, live lobster. Live Maine lobster, $19.99 a pound. Live crab, wow. You can't get this in, I don't think you can get this at Whole Foods. It doesn't get any fresher than this. As far as meats are concerned, you can't find, it's hard to find beef liver. And it's only $3.32 a pound, I think is per pound. But this is some of the healthiest foods you can eat. Beef liver, eat more of it. If you can find it, go to an Asian supermarket and find some. Look at this jackfruit, 69 cents a pound. And there's a hot deli, Chinese barbecue. This place seems to be a Hong Kong style market. I hear a lot of Cantonese being spoken and dialects of Cantonese. So this place seems to be more of a Hong Kong Cantonese market. So here's a food court here, a lot of Chinese food, Chinese barbecue, dim sum. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about trying this, but I'm not sure. It's kind of iffy. Here's a barbecue ribs. Thinking about getting this, but I don't know. Hit and miss, I think. Barbecue garlic pork baby back ribs. I think there's a Pho Saigonese restaurant that's opening up over there. You know what was interesting inside this 168 supermarket is that there were a few Caucasians working inside, and I think they're from Eastern Europe. I do notice a large population of Ukrainians or Russians who live in Vegas. And it's interesting that they're actually working in these Chinese supermarkets. Because she was speaking with an accent, the lady who was working behind the counter of the Chinese food place. I kind of wanted to try it out of curiosity, but I think 80% it's not going to taste good. It's not going to be fresh. It's going to taste oily. I'm going to regret it. So I decided not to eat that. Usually when I eat that kind of Chinese food, it's not good. But it's interesting that they were Eastern European because they did speak with a heavy accent. And I think it was Russian or Ukrainian. There's another Chinese restaurant right next to the supermarket called Hunan Rice Noodle. I'm not sure if I would try this spot, but Chinese food is not as popular as it used to be. I know when I was maybe like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, Chinese food was quite popular in California and maybe around the US, but now they've really been passed over. The popular food today, I guess, is more or less Japanese, Korean, and Thai as far as Asian food is concerned. And Chinese food has really taken a back seat. I think it's because food tends to be quite oily and greasy and unhealthy in general. And the service you get at most Chinese restaurants are hit and miss. Sometimes you get some friendly people, but usually you're gonna get someone grouchy and grumpy. So here's a Korean restaurant in the same plaza called 777 Korean Restaurant. And this is one of the few, I've only seen two in my life, where I've seen a Korean restaurant with a number in their name, like 777. It's very unusual for them to do that, put a number in the name of a Korean restaurant. That's usually a Chinese or Vietnamese thing. I'm wondering if this Korean restaurant might be owned by Chinese Koreans. There it is right there, that restaurant, the 777 Korean Restaurant. It's not normal for Koreans to use numbers in their name. Here's another Korean restaurant over here. Korean barbecue place. What is it? Something Kugi or Kogi? It's about 55 degrees and windy. There's another restaurant over there called Dragon Gate and Hachi. That's likely a Japanese place. There's an Ito Tapan or Tapas. It's probably Japanese. Spring Valley in Las Vegas.